Hi, my name is Darcy Cole, and I am the 4-H Program Coordinator in McLeod County. This video is going to highlight ideas of ways that you can better work with special needs kids within your 4-H club. We're going to start off by talking first of all about what a special need is. A special need is any challenge that a 4-H'er may have that requires extra assistance due to disability. Believe it or not, just under 13% of public school students have some sort of identified special need. This means that whether or not we know it, we have individuals in our 4-H program who have needs. It's also important to remember that there are some needs that we can see and others that are invisible. I want you to take a few seconds to think a little bit about one of your recent 4-H club meetings. Are there any individuals that stand out because of some sort of need? Chances are pretty good that there are probably more than one 4-H'er that comes to mind when we actually take a little time to think about it. As we talk about working with special needs 4-H'ers, it's important for us to first of all review what inclusion is. Inclusion is offering the same activities to everyone while providing support and services to accommodate people's different needs. In the environment of a 4-H club meeting, we usually are going to have their parents in attendance and they'll be able to help their child when they need a little extra assistance. Inclusion is also a right and a responsibility through the American with Disability Act. Our 4-H program strives to include all people, including those that might have a special need. There are benefits to everyone involved in our 4-H program when we have an inclusive 4-H setting. First of all, some of the benefits to special needs youth are they get to participate with their friends, their family, and their neighbors, those that they're going to be able to interact with as a youth and later into adulthood. They also get the opportunity to learn from typical peers by watching them positively model behaviors and interactions in situations. And finally, they have a place where they can fit in. Special needs youth may not excel in school and may not participate in other activities or sports, and 4-H can be the place where they can find success. Youth without special needs also benefit from participating in programs with special needs peers. First of all, they develop empathy and exposure to diversity. They also develop a comfort interacting with others. As we know, the more we interact with something that we're unfamiliar with, the easier it becomes. Finally, interacting together can provide preparation for life in an inclusive society where we can get along well with those who may be different than we are. So the main purpose of this video is to share with you some resources that I've created to support our special needs 4-H members. The first two resources that I'll be sharing are valuable for anyone with a special need. The last resources are things that are more specific to youth with autism, but they would also be beneficial to all youth in our 4-H program. The autism focus for the last resources is due to the fact that this is an extreme passion area for me, and some of you who know me more personally know that I have 2 children of my own at home with autism. In addition to this personal interest, autism is the fastest growing serious developmental disability in the United States. So that means that there are chances that we're interacting with a lot of youth with autism in our program. If this is an area of interest for you too, please don't hesitate to contact me because I have another full hour plus workshop that I've developed and presented to staff across the state that I would be happy to share with the rest of you. So I'm going to go ahead and dig into the resources that were listed on the previous slide. The first of them is a 4-H Accommodations Request form, and this is a form that a 4-H family could fill out, with the first side being just basic information where they can check any special need condition that their youth may have or that the volunteer may have. The second page gives us more specific information, including information about that child, that might be useful for a judge or a club leader or volunteer or someone else within our program to know. And the last piece asks for the type of accommodations that they would like to request for their child. The next resource is a 4-H Facility Accessibility Assessment. And this is a tool that can be used to assess how accessible a facility is for a 4-H program. That could be a club meeting, it could be a club activity, but basically it has a series of questions. I think it's 4 pages total in length where you'll answer yes or no. And if you answer no, there are possible solutions of how you could improve that situation to make your environment more accessible. The next tools I'm going to share with you are things that are designed for people with autism, but would also be beneficial to anyone within our program. Pictured on this slide are 2 different examples of schedule visual supports. The one on the left is a schedule where in the bigger boxes you would put pictures which are provided through the links that are shared with this video of different things that you would do in your club meeting, and you would list them in order, and then as you would do them, that youth could go ahead and use the box, the smaller one to the right, and check off as those things are completed. It just helps them to kind of know what to expect in your club meeting situation. The schedule shown on the right is a first then next schedule, and with this you would have 3 pictures in those boxes listed from left to right in the order that you're going to do them, and youth would basically be able to use this to follow along to understand the structure and the order of what you're going to do in your club meeting. The final resources that I'm going to share with you today are social stories. And social stories are a story that outlines what someone is going to experience in a situation and talks through exactly what it's going to look like, what they're going to do, how they might feel, and how they should interact in that environment. Part of the purpose of a social story is to point out and teach the social nuances that most of us just are able to do naturally, but people with autism might need a little help to really understand. I'm going to end this video by just reminding you that when working with youth with special needs, that it's important for us to try to understand, be patient, and be flexible with them, and to know that things may have to be adaptable according to what we originally planned. We also want to help create an understanding within our 4-H group of the needs of our members. And finally, we want to really focus on seeing that child and not that disability. So looking at what do those youth do well and how can we capitalize on that so we can make these youth be successful in our program. I also want to personally thank you for your commitment to making our 4-H program accessible to all young people.